So stressor is anything that creates a survival reaction. It can be emotional stress, it can be psychological stress, it can be physical stressors, if it's a disease, if it's an injury, if it's pesticides, if it's heavy metals, if it's mycotoxins, and it can be a genetic and epigenetic influence that I talk in the book about my own story, carrying the pain of my grandfather that I'm named after, who is, 10 out of 12 siblings were killed by Hitler, and how I went through my own healing and my symptoms went away. And then my mother got a healing experience without knowing what I'm doing because I went back to generations and it went back to her. So we're looking about energetic effects on a global, interpersonal, multidimensional level, but the same thing happened in our cell. So when we react, so of course the physiology will be how it affects the gut and the brain, and I'll touch it. I love touching it. But let's go into the journey into the cell. So the cell now is not feeling safe. The cell is not feeling safe, or we are at a place of survival, that one can create a neurological pathway response, because we have to remember, we always do our best. And it's important for people listening to realize, don't be hard on yourself for something you have done 20, 30, 40 years ago. It was the best you could have done. The problem is that we get stuck in the pattern, neurologically, physiologically, and on a biochemistry level. So now if we get this sense of danger, if we get this sense of inflammation, our macrophage outside of the cell can turn into inflammatory M1, M2 macrophage and excrete galectin-3, or galectin-3 senses a danger in a certain place. It's coming to fix, to do injury repair. How? Through inflammation and fibrosis. It comes into the cell environment, it blocks insulin receptors, and now the cell's metabolism is to shift into a survival response.
So this protein galectin-3 has a positive function. It's not all bad. It's also serving a positive role in helping facilitate healing and recovery of damaged cells. Is that accurate?
It facilitates injury repair.
Okay.
Injury repair is very different from healing because the mechanism it uses is inflammation and fibrosis. If it could have a signal for 5 minutes and then just relax, it would be great, but it doesn't.
Okay.
That's a problem. So then when we are in I'm sure your audience knows this, when we're in a place of safety, of peace, we produce energy through proper mitochondrial function. Now we get 36 ATPs for 1 molecule of glucose, very efficient, no byproducts, oxidative stress is being handled, and the cell's pH is normal. And we do it by opening pyruvate dehydrogenase. We need the cofactors, if it's thiamine, alpha lipoic acid, but the mitochondria, which is our smallest boundary. So the same boundary we have as people, we decide what comes in, what goes out through the breath, through the skin, through the gut, happens on the cell membrane. And within the cell, we got our energy production facilities, the mitochondria. So PDH is very efficient. Now we have to go into a survival mode. Survival mode, we survive at any cost. We can produce energy 100 times faster, so quickly, which is kind of amazing, but only 5 to 6% efficiency, right? 2 molecules of ATP for every glucose and a lot of lactic acid. Now the cell has a sense that it doesn't have oxygen. If we hold our breath, if we right now held our breath for a minute or 2 or 3, wherever your capacity, at some point, we're going to do survival. That's what the cell feels. The cell then stimulates something called hypoxia-inducing factor. Oh my God, I have no air, I'm in trouble. It blocks further the mitochondria and pushes glycolysis further, and you get this vicious cycle. AMPK, the precursor for normal production of energy, gets blocked. mTOR1 gets stimulated. There's a lot of work with anti-aging, with using berberine and metformin to actually try to shut down mTOR1 and honokiol. So we get this mTOR1 being activated. Again, it pushes HIF, it pushes something called AKT. PDK is the enzyme that blocks blocks the movement of PDH into the mitochondria, gets activated, we go into glycolysis. This can drive autoimmune diseases. This will happen with metabolic diseases. And this is what happens when a cell wants to go into a survival mode.
Hey, this is Ari, and if you enjoyed this little clip, I highly recommend checking out the full-length podcast by clicking the link down below this video in the description. Check it out. You're going to learn a ton more valuable information. Also, as always, I want to mention at the Energy Blueprint, we offer a ton of solutions to help you increase your energy. And as a side effect, help you prevent disease, dramatically improve your brain function, your mood, combating anxiety and depression, increasing your resilience to stress, and increasing your longevity. All nice bonuses to strategies designed to massively increase your mitochondrial function and your energy levels. And we've got a whole suite of products, online info products that guide you on strategies to optimize your lifestyle and nutrition habits. We've got an Eat for Energy course. We've got a brain course. We've got an advanced fat loss strategies course. We've got a breathing for energy course, which I highly, highly recommend. People just absolutely rave about that one in particular. And we've got a whole suite of supplements, mitochondrial formula, a brain formula, energy essentials and superfoods, which is our comprehensive multivitamin and multimineral and superfoods formula. So thank you for watching this. Again, full length link to the full length podcast is down below. And check out theenergyblueprint.com for our whole suite of products that can help you dramatically transform your energy levels.